AITA for not telling my boyfriend I own the building we live in? Hi. Obviously a throwaway for privacy. Also, I'm new to posting, so I hope I do this correctly. When I was 18, my dad gifted me a house with 2 stories. I am extremely thankful. We are not upper class, but my dad bought this house for a cheap price a long time ago. It was his grandmother's cousin's house. I know that this was an extreme privilege, and I am forever grateful for this. The layout of this building is like an apartment, but it is a house. So basically, each story has its own separate entry, its own kitchen and bathroom. I live upstairs while I rent out the downstairs. My boyfriend 25 meters moved in with me about 3 months ago, and we have been together for 6 months. I have not asked him for money, neither for utilities or to pay me any rent. The only thing he contributes to is groceries. That we split 50-50. I have not brought up that I own the building, as it is not something I tell many people. If people ask me, I of course tell them that I own it. But if they just assume I am a renter, then they can believe that. The topic of a landlord, the renter downstairs or the owner of the building, has not been something we have talked about. This last Tuesday the renter came up to tell me that her freezer has stopped working. I answered the door and my boyfriend heard us talking, I suppose. I went downstairs to take a look, and we came to the conclusion that she would buy a new one, send me the receipt, and I would give her the money. She was very grateful for this solution. When I went upstairs, my boyfriend asked if it could be fixed. I told him no, but she was going to buy a new one and I would pay for it. He looked at me like I was crazy and asked me why the hell I would pay for her freezer. I told him that because I am her landlord and the freezer was there when she started renting, I would stand for the cost. He just asked me if I was serious, to which I said I was. He began screaming at me, asking him why the hell I would hold this information from him and that I was an evil person. I said I was sorry for not telling him, but I did not think that it would matter. He said he could not believe he was together with someone who is a landlord, that all of us just use people for money, and that the only thing we people care about is money, and would rather have people be homeless than offering affordable rent. The downstairs is 1 kitchen, 1 bath and 4 other rooms. I charge $500 in rent. I understand many people have had trouble with landlords, but I try my best to be a good one. He demanded that I give him 50% of the money I make from rent, or else I was just as bad as he thought. Was I really the asshole for not telling him? He has not talked to me since Tuesday, and I have tried telling him that I am truly sorry, but he doesn't answer me at all. NTA. He showed his true colors at "give me half the money or you're just as bad as any other landlord." If he actually thought you renting out the lower half of the building was morally reprehensible, the ultimatum would be, stop charging the person downstairs rent, or offer to sell the downstairs unit to them, or even donate the profit to charities that help people secure stable housing. But no, he only actually cares that he didn't know about this stream of income, and now he wants in. NTA. Dump him. I know that's a common response on this subreddit, but this dude was happy to exploit you for free lodging. And now that he finds out you've got income he wasn't aware of, he wants half of it just cause, or else you're a big meanie? You do not owe him an apology. You owe him a kick in the rear. Let me get this straight. He must not have offered to pay half of the rent, because then it would have come up and you would have told him, right? He is living with you rent-free. Up to now, he thought you were paying the entire rent. On what planet does he deserve half of the tenant's rent money? Please reconsider this relationship. NTA. NTA. But you will be to yourself if you give in to his manipulative demand to give him 50% of what you make from the rent. He clearly now sees you as a potential gravy train. By not telling him I caused a big argument. You did not cause an argument. His greed caused an argument. He began screaming at me, and that I was an evil person. He demanded that I give him 50% of the money I make from rent or else I was just as bad as he. Thought. Lol, either this isn't real or your BF is a crazy asshole. Why would you want to date and live with someone like that? NTA, but get rid of this guy if he actually exists. When I saw his reaction, I thought I must have misread. NTA. He is not the one. You were giving him half by giving him a free place to live. Please don't let him manipulate you. NTA. He lives with you rent-free and utility-free and is now demanding you pay him half of your rental income? Pay him for what exactly? You need to get rid of him fast. You sound like a good and fair landlord, not someone trying to take advantage of others. I am currently at work. I don't live in the so different time zones and I work weekends. To those who have been supportive, thank you. After all your comments, I think this relationship need to come to an end. But I will try and talk with him today or tomorrow and see what he says. To those who think this is made up, trust me when I say I wish this was. I can't speak for why he said things that contradict each other. That only he can have an answer to. Ending the relationship should not be that hard emotionally. Even though I have grown to like him. Seeing and realizing what you helped me do. The emotions you can gather in 6 months are easy to overcome. Your boyfriend apparently was okay with not paying or even discussing rent with you. Then when he finds out you own the place and have a tenant, he calls you evil for taking money from someone else so that they can live there. Then to top it all off, he demands you basically make him co-landlord so he can get free money. IDK, why you're this naive to think any of this makes you an AH. I know people can get too caught up in their own drama to see clearly, but the reaction of the boyfriend is so obnoxious it's quite literally difficult to see this story being real. NTA. NTA. I'm a landlord. We rent at below market rate. We never raise anyone's rent. Though we've lowered it, lol. We allow multiple pets. Fix everything more quickly than in our own home. And try really hard to be the landlords we wanted. Small. 12 property landlords aren't causing rents to skyrocket. And, for better or worse, no one's reappropriating rental units to hand out for free. This is the system we live in. All we can do is try to do a little good where we can. Your BF is making a money grab. You've been letting him live there rent-free and he never questioned it. That's bizarre. Now he wants you to give him cash or you're evil. What happens when taxes are due? The place needs a new roof? A pipe bursts? Does he want to sign an agreement that he's responsible for 50% of the cost? Since he took money, you should be saving for things just like that. This guy has told you who he is. Believe him. Now be very careful evicting him. Talk to an attorney first so it's all legal. It doesn't matter how he sees you or what he calls you. Him refusing to leave is the danger. You need him gone. Dump this a-hole. At no point did he offer to help pay rent. He was perfectly happy letting you pay all the rent to a landlord. As far as he knew, I already thought he sucked on this point alone before I even got to the part where he found out you owned the place. Please remove this loser from your life. You can do better. NTA. NTA. Any trace of awe you may have had for not disclosing this is wiped away by his "gimme half or else." Talk about showing his true colors. You have nothing to apologize for. I would say to him, you know, you're right. I'd rather you be homeless than give you an affordable rent of $0, which is what you currently pay, and kick him out. NTA. Ah ha 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 ha. Your boyfriend is the asshole. It is none of his business and, frankly, I wouldn't have told him to. I find it interesting that your boyfriend, who is so horrified by dating and living with an evil landlord such as yourself, has not only not moved out taking advantage of that rent-free lifestyle, but demands his share of your ill-gotten gains. This has to be a ChatGPT story, right? It can't be real. Rolling on the floor laughing. Ha! He's a jerk. He hasn't paid rent, just groceries. Who did he think was paying the rent for him then? The rent fairy? Rethink, re-examine and review. WTF. NTA. Landlords are bad. That's why I live with you rent-free. Give me half your tenant's rent because having a tenant is bad. That's some phenomenal logic right there. How did you guys move in together and not talk about rent? Though, is it a common pattern for him to assume you will provide for him? Do you often pay for things for him? Some things for you to think about. NTA. But your boyfriend is one. He is not entitled to anything that you make from renting this property out. I suspect you never told him. Because really, it's none of his business. Landlords are not evil. It doesn't sound like you are getting rich. And even if you were tough noogies, it's called the real world. And someone is always making money off of you. Literally everyone pays for where they live, be it in rent or mortgage, but you were blessed with a gift that benefited him as well, with him no contributing to anything other than groceries. I suggest he be shown the door because is an ungrateful fool filled with far too much self-righteousness. NTA. And your boyfriend needs a new landlord immediately. One who charges him way too much rent. EXBF. Yes? Throw him out, and change the locks. NTA. Run! Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Aircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.